Alright, 4.3, congruent triangles. I can name and use corresponding parts of congruent polygons. So we're not just going to talk about triangles, we're going to talk about polygons as well.
Who's Haley?
Okay, we start in the lesson. Stop.
Haley should take me. I'm open.
Now, two polygons are congruent if and only if their corresponding parts are congruent. Now, what it means by corresponding parts is that the rainbows and the tickies match up. Okay? Now, angle A has two rainbows. So what angle on the bottom down here of our triangle has two rainbows? So those are congruent because they have two rainbows. Does everybody understand? Now, angle B has one rainbow. So what other angle has one rainbow? J. Angle C has how many rainbows? Well, look at your paper, baby. You have the same notes in front of you. 1, 2, 3. What other angle has 3? 1, 2, 3. So you match up your angles by. You gotta keep them clipped. You match up your.
Quit unclicking that.
I will cut your hair.
Oh my gosh. Wait, y'all hear that?
Alright. Now, your sides are matched up by tickies. So if you have one tickie, it matches up with one tickie. If you have two tickies on BC, it matches up with? On? KJ. Good. And if you have three tickies on AC, what does that match up with? Yep. Or since I started with two rainbows here, start with two rainbows here. So the order that you say them matters. Now, the way we would say this triangle is the triangle ABC is congruent to HJK. So they started with 2, 1, 3. You have to do the same thing on the other one. The order that you name them matters. How are you confused? Tell me, baby.
You say the order of I'm not confused what you mean by that.
Okay. So if I start with two rainbows here, I have to start with two rainbows on the other one. So they named it by saying A, B, C, right? Two rainbows, one rainbow, 3. So that means that you have to go 2, 1, 3 on this one. So that's HJK.
Why don't you do 1, 2, 3 like in order?
You can, honey. That's fine. I'm just saying that's how they named it. So if we said BAC over here, we would say JHK over here. Okay. The order you write the angles matters.
He want his keys, bro.
Alright, so match up rainbows. Now, this is our congruent statement, which is what they're asking us to do in our next examples. They want us to identify all the congruent corresponding parts. And corresponding means what? The same position. Good. Take a point. So, what we're going to do for number 1 is we're going to write the angles that are congruent in the same position. So, angle A has one rainbow. What angle is it congruent to?
J.
Angle J. Good. Take a point. Does everybody see how I did that? Are we sure?
Wait.
Yes.
Alright, angle B has two rainbows. What is it congruent to? Angle K. Take a point.
I said it too.
No.
I said it though.
Angle C is congruent to what angle? Angle L. Good. Take a point.
Yeah, I should have taken the point last time.
Alright, now, are we done or do we also have to do the sides? Let's do the sides. Now, all you do is match up your tickies. So if I say AB, that means I'll start with one rainbow and end with two. I need to start with one over here and end with two. So if I say AB, what's that congruent to?
KJ.
No, guys. I started with one rainbow and I end with two. It's JK.
Just kidding.
And it's like I explained that we started with one rainbow and ended with two before I asked you. It's like I explained that. It's crazy. Alright, BC is congruent to what angle? KL, or what side rather. And our last one, let's say CA. What's that going to be congruent to?
LJ.
LJ. Good. The order matters. Take a point.
Yeah, she did. I'm just LJ. I don't.
Now, easy. We have to write a congruent statement, which means we have to write this, that the triangles are congruent to each other. Can y'all please stop talking? Now, I'm going to say triangle CAB for funsies. Because I want you to show me that you can write the congruent statement with the other triangle. So I said CAB. What is that going to be over here?
LJ.
LJK. Good. Take a point.
Oh, just matching it up.
We are just matching it up.
Like you said, bases.
Never mind. I was going to ask you to see New Jersey. I mean, Jersey Shore.
Okay, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now, does it?
You're going to be the reason we get homework.
All right, number 2. Are we ready for number 2, or do we need another minute?
We good. We good.
You good? Good.
I didn't say we were down.
All right, angle A is congruent to what angle? Angle D. They have one rainbow. Now, do you see how we have 2 angle B's? And now we have 2 angle C's? So you have to name these specifically by using 3 points. So we're going to say A, B, C for it to represent this side over here. Does everybody understand? So you say angle A, B, C. If B is in the middle, that means it's our vertex. We have done this before. Okay? Now we're going to choose our other congruent angle, but we have to go 1, 2, 3 because we went 1, 2, 3 here. So what would it be congruent to?
BCD.
Alright guys, listen to what I just said. You have to go 1, 2, 3. D, C, B. Good. Does everybody see why I did that? Does anybody not see? Yes, Mazera. Are you confused?
I'm confused. I'm stopped asking questions because everybody keeps saying, please.
But are you paying attention when I explained it the first time? Okay, Pumpkin. Do you see how we have 2 angle B's? We have to name it specifically because if we said angle B, it would be the whole thing. Or either of these. So we said angle A, B, C because we mean this specific angle. And we have, since we went 1, 2, 3, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 over here. Do you understand? Do you understand how I named it? Okay, what? Yes. The little lines, the little rainbows are what I'm meaning by that. Okay, now we need to name angle C. So I'm going to say angle ACB. Angle ACB is congruent to angle. Now I went 1, 3, 2. So what order do I have to go in over here? D, B, C, because I have to do 1, 3, 2. Alright, now we need to do our tick marks. AC is congruent to which one? I went 1, 3, so what's that congruent to? DB, go 1, 3. How many sides are there of a triangle? Alright, now let's do AB. What is AB congruent to? I went 1, 2, so what am I going to do over here? DC, good. Take a point. And our last one, BC, is congruent to CB.
Look at capitalist stuff.
Right, look at Miss Asbury go.
Y'all know.
All right, now let's write our congruent statement, which means that we need to write that our triangles are congruent. So how do y'all want to name the triangle on the left?
ABC.
ABC, okay? So if I say triangle ABC, what is it congruent to? We went 1, 2, 3 over here. DCB, go 1, 2, 3. And make sure you put the triangle symbol in front of it. All right, do number 3 without me. Put it in the second drawer. Just put it in the second drawer. Just put it in the second drawer.
Oh my gosh. You're start packing up.
No, you cannot start packing up.
Oh my gosh. Calm down. I did that wrong. I did it wrong. Why are we doing whatever we want? Oh, look, there it goes. Okay.
Now, can you write that all the other angles are congruent to each other? Do we have rainbows?
No.
No, so we don't necessarily know yet, do we?
No.
But we are going to prove that next week.
Next week? Next week. Oh, yeah.
Gets exciting. All right, if you can finish number 4, you don't have homework.
I have homework.